There is a truth about life that is as old as the earth and as fresh as the morning dew. The way we think shapes the way we live. Our mindset is the lens through which we see the world, and it colors everything we touch. Change your mindset, and you change your world. Sometimes we find ourselves stuck in situations that feel unyielding, like a cage with no key in sight. We feel trapped by circumstances, overwhelmed by the weight of what we cannot control. But let me remind you, the greatest freedom lies within. Your mindset is the foundation of everything you experience. It is the invisible force that determines how you perceive the world, how you interpret events, and ultimately, how you respond to life's challenges and opportunities. Your mindset is not just a collection of thoughts. It is the lens through which you view reality itself. Imagine two people standing side by side, looking at the same horizon. One sees a bleak gray sky and feels despair, while the other sees a canvas of infinite possibility, waiting to be painted with the colors of their dreams. The sky has not changed, but their perceptions have, and those perceptions define their reality. The truth is, life is not always kind or fair. Challenges will come and obstacles will block your path. But the way you think about those challenges makes all the difference. A fixed mindset, a belief that your abilities, intelligence, or circumstances are static, will keep you stuck in fear, doubt, and resignation. On the other hand, a growth mindset, a belief that you can learn, adapt, and improve, will empower you to rise above any difficulty. Think of your mindset as the soil in a garden. If the soil is fertile and nourished, the seeds you plant will flourish. But if the soil is dry and neglected, even the best seeds cannot grow. Your thoughts are the seeds, and your mindset determines whether they thrive. When you cultivate a positive, open, and resilient mindset, you create an environment where hope, creativity, and success can take root. Consider this: when you wake up each morning, you have a choice. You can see the day as a series of problems waiting to overwhelm you, or you can see it as a collection of opportunities waiting to be seized. This choice may seem small, but it is powerful. The way you approach the day influences how the day unfolds. Even science supports this truth. Studies in neuroscience show that our brains are wired to notice and amplify what we focus on. If you focus on what's wrong, you'll find more things to worry about. But if you focus on what's right, on possibilities, gratitude, and growth, you will notice doors opening where you once saw walls. Your mindset shapes not only your present, but also your future. When you believe in your ability to learn and grow, you are more likely to take risks, embrace challenges, and persevere through setbacks. This belief creates a self-fulfilling cycle. Effort leads to progress. Progress builds confidence, and confidence fuels further effort. But shaping your reality through mindset isn't just about individual growth, it's about connection. When you approach others with empathy and positivity, you inspire them to do the same. Your mindset becomes a ripple that spreads outward, influencing the people around you and creating a better world for everyone. So remember this: you hold the power to shape your reality. By changing the way you think, you can transform the way you live. Nurture your mindset as you would a garden and watch your world blossom. Freedom is often thought of as something external, a state granted by governments, societies, or circumstances. We picture it as wide open spaces, opportunities unbound by restrictions, or the ability to move and act as we please. But true freedom, the kind that sustains us through life's greatest challenges, begins not in the external world, but within ourselves. It is a state of mind, a belief system, and an inner resilience that no external force can take away. True freedom lies in the ability to control how we respond to life, regardless of what is happening around us. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and renowned psychiatrist, once wrote about the last of the human freedoms, the ability to choose one's attitude in any given circumstance. Even in the direst of situations, where every external freedom had been stripped away, he discovered that his inner freedom, his capacity to think, hope, and find meaning, remained intact. This is the essence of freedom within, the power to decide how you interpret your reality and how you let it shape you. It is not dictated by your environment, your upbringing, or the challenges you face. It is dictated by your mindset. To embrace this freedom, you must first understand the power of your thoughts. Every choice you make, every action you take begins with a thought. If your mind is clouded with doubt, fear, or anger, those emotions will color your decisions and limit your potential. But if your thoughts are guided by clarity, purpose, and positivity, you will unlock doors within yourself that lead to infinite possibilities. Freedom within also requires self-awareness. You cannot be free if you are unaware of the chains that bind you. Sometimes these chains are obvious: toxic relationships, limiting beliefs, or societal expectations. But often they are subtle and insidious: the fear of failure, the need for approval, or the habits of self-doubt. By taking the time to reflect and recognize these internal barriers, you take the first step toward breaking free from them. It's important to realize that freedom within is not about ignoring the challenges of the world or pretending that hardships don't exist. Instead, it's about finding strength and peace amid those challenges. It's the ability to stand in the middle of a storm and know that while the winds may rage around you, your inner self remains unshaken. When you cultivate freedom within, you begin to live life on your own terms. You stop being a prisoner of other people's opinions or expectations. You no longer base your self-worth on external validation or material possessions. Instead, you find value in who you are, independent of what the world says you should be. This kind of freedom also unlocks the courage to take risks and pursue your dreams. When you are free within, failure no longer feels like an end, it feels like a lesson. Criticism no longer feels like rejection, it feels like an opportunity for growth. Obstacles no longer feel like barriers, they feel like stepping stones. Ultimately, freedom within is the foundation of all other freedoms. Without it, even the greatest external liberties can feel empty. But with it, even in the face of adversity, you can find joy, peace, and purpose. So begin today by looking inward. Free your mind from the thoughts that limit you. Free your heart from the fears that hold you back. Free your spirit to dream, grow, and become. Remember, the key to your freedom has been within you all along. It is not something you have to earn, it is something you have to realize. When you embrace this truth, you will discover that the world changes, not because it has, but because you have. Life is like a garden, and your focus is the sunlight that nourishes its growth. Whatever you give your energy, attention, and time to will flourish. This is a simple yet profound truth that holds the power to transform your life. Focus on what you want to grow, and you will see your dreams, talents, and aspirations bloom into realities. The challenge for many of us is that we unconsciously give our attention to the wrong things. We focus on our fears, our failures, and the obstacles in our way. While it's important to acknowledge these aspects of life, dwelling on them only gives them strength. Imagine pouring water onto weeds instead of the flowers you want to grow. The weeds take over, crowding out the beauty and potential of the garden. Instead, choose to focus on the possibilities, the solutions, and the dreams that inspire you. This does not mean ignoring challenges or pretending problems don't exist. It means shifting your perspective to prioritize growth over stagnation, progress over perfection, and hope over despair. When you focus on what you want to grow, you align your actions with your intentions. This alignment creates momentum. For example, if you want to build confidence, focusing on your past mistakes will only feed self-doubt. Instead, focus on the small victories, the moments when you stepped out of your comfort zone and succeeded, even in minor ways. Celebrate those wins and watch your confidence grow. This principle applies to every area of life. If you want healthier relationships, focus on acts of kindness, gratitude, and communication. If you want to improve your career, focus on learning, networking, and taking steps toward your goals. If you want personal growth, focus on habits that nurture your mind, body, and spirit. Science supports this idea. Our brains have something called the reticular activating system, RAS, which acts like a filter, determining what we notice and pay attention to. When you focus on a specific goal or desire, your brain starts to identify opportunities and resources that align with it. This is why, when you decide to buy a certain car, you suddenly see that car everywhere. The world hasn't changed, your focus has. But focus requires discipline. In a world filled with distractions, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters. Social media, negative news, and the opinions of others can pull your attention away from your goals. To combat this, practice intentional focus. Set aside time each day to reflect on your priorities. Write down your goals, visualize your desired outcomes, and take consistent steps toward them. Focusing on what you want to grow also means protecting your energy. Be mindful of the people, environments, and habits that drain you. Surround yourself with those who uplift and inspire you. Create an environment that encourages growth, whether it's through inspiring books, supportive friends, or peaceful spaces where you can think and dream. Remember, growth takes time. A gardener doesn't plant a seed and expect a full bloom the next day. They water it, nurture it, and patiently allow nature to take its course. Similarly, when you focus on what you want to grow, give yourself grace and patience. Trust the process and stay committed to your vision. Lastly, know that your focus not only shapes your own life, but also influences those around you. When you focus on love, positivity, and possibility, you become a source of light for others. Your growth inspires their growth, creating a ripple effect that extends far beyond what you can see. So ask yourself today, what do I want to grow? Is it love, confidence, health, or success? Whatever it is, direct your energy toward it. Feed it with your time, attention, and belief. Let go of the distractions, the doubts, and the negativity that no longer serve you. Focus on what you want to grow and watch as your life transforms into the beautiful, abundant garden it was always meant to be. Failure is one of life's most misunderstood experiences. Many see it as a mark of shame, a reason to give up, or evidence that they aren't capable. But failure, when viewed through the right lens, is not an enemy to fear, but a teacher to embrace. It is a powerful force that shapes, refines, and strengthens us if we let it. Consider this. Every great achievement in history has been built on a foundation of failures. Thomas Edison, when asked about his many unsuccessful attempts to create the light bulb, famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 1,000 ways that won't work." His perspective transformed what others might see as defeat into invaluable lessons. Without those lessons, the light bulb might never have illuminated the world. Failure teaches us in ways that success never can. Success often provides validation, but failure offers growth. When we fail, we are given the opportunity to examine what went wrong, why it happened, and how we can do better. It pushes us to rethink our strategies, deepen our understanding, and cultivate resilience. One of the first lessons failure teaches is humility. It reminds us that we are human, that we don't have all the answers, and that growth is a journey, not a destination. This humility opens the door to learning. It allows us to seek guidance, adapt to new perspectives, and build the skills we need to succeed. Failure also teaches us perseverance. Each time we fall and choose to rise again, we strengthen our resolve. This resilience is a critical ingredient for success. The most successful people in the world are not those who avoid failure, but those who refuse to be defeated by it. They see failure as a stepping stone rather than a stopping point. Moreover, failure cultivates self-awareness. It forces us to look inward, to reflect on our strengths and weaknesses. It can reveal areas where we need to improve and habits that may be holding us back. This self-awareness is invaluable as it lays the foundation for personal and professional growth. Another powerful lesson failure offers is creativity. When one approach doesn't work, failure challenges us to think outside the box, to innovate, and to find new solutions. Many groundbreaking discoveries and inventions have come from people who refused to accept failure as the end, but instead used it as a spark for creativity. It's important to note that failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of the path to success. Every setback carries within it the seeds of a comeback. Every mistake brings with it the potential for a breakthrough. The key is to approach failure with the right mindset. This begins with changing the way we define failure. Instead of seeing it as evidence of inadequacy, view it as evidence of effort. Failure means you tried, that you stepped out of your comfort zone, and that you were willing to take risks. These are all signs of courage and growth. It also means letting go of the fear of judgment. Many people are so afraid of what others will think if they fail that they never take the first step toward their dreams. But remember this, the most successful people are often those who have failed the most. Why? Because they had the courage to keep trying. Failure also requires forgiveness of yourself. Too often we beat ourselves up over our mistakes, carrying guilt and regret long after the moment has passed. But failure is not a permanent state. It is a moment in time, an event that can teach us if we choose to learn from it. Forgive yourself and use the experience to grow stronger. Finally, failure teaches us gratitude. When we experience failure, it helps us appreciate our successes even more. It reminds us to value the journey, the lessons learned along the way, and the strength we've gained from overcoming challenges. So the next time you encounter failure, don't run from it. Pause and ask yourself, what is this experience here to teach me? What can I learn and how can I grow? Embrace failure as a wise and patient teacher, one that shows you the way forward even when the path seems unclear. In the end, failure is not the enemy of success. It is the secret ingredient, the mentor that shapes us and the forge that strengthens our character. When you learn to see failure as a teacher, you transform it from a roadblock into a stepping stone on your journey to greatness. Every thought you think is like a seed planted in the soil of your mind. These seeds hold the potential to grow into something powerful and meaningful, shaping the landscape of your life. Whether they flourish into a lush garden of abundance or wither into weeds of doubt depends on how you nurture them. Your thoughts are the starting point of everything you create, experience, and become. Imagine for a moment that your mind is a garden. Each thought you entertain is a seed you plant, and the garden will grow based on what you choose to sow. Positive, empowering thoughts will sprout into strong, healthy plants representing your dreams, goals, and personal growth. On the other hand, negative or limiting thoughts will grow into weeds, draining your energy, crowding your aspirations, and preventing you from thriving. The beauty of this concept lies in its simplicity. You have the power to choose which seeds to plant. Every moment of your day presents a choice. Will you focus on gratitude or resentment? On hope or fear? On possibilities or limitations? Your garden will reflect the sum of those choices. Thoughts, like seeds, may seem small and insignificant at first glance, but they carry immense potential. A single positive thought nurtured consistently can lead to profound changes. For instance, a thought like, "I can learn and grow," can inspire you to take action, acquire new skills, and ultimately achieve your goals. Conversely, a thought like, "I'm not good enough," can discourage you from even trying, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy of stagnation. And embracing the truth that I have skills and abilities can help me always move forward, can help me see the glamorous possibilities of stagnation. Nurturing your mental garden requires intention and effort. Just as a gardener waters, fertilizes, and protects their plants from pests, you must cultivate your thoughts with care. Start by practicing self-awareness. Pay attention to the thoughts that dominate your mind. Are they uplifting or destructive? Are they aligned with the life you want to create? Once you've identified your thoughts, begin the process of weeding out the negative ones. This doesn't mean suppressing or denying them. Acknowledge their presence, but don't give them the power to take root. Replace them with thoughts that are constructive and encouraging. If you catch yourself thinking, "I'll never succeed," counter it with, "I'm learning and improving every day." Over time, these intentional shifts will reshape your mental garden. Water your positive thoughts with action. A seed will not grow without nourishment. And similarly, your thoughts will not manifest without effort. If you think about starting a new project or pursuing a dream, take small, consistent steps toward making it a reality. Action transforms thoughts from mere possibilities into tangible outcomes. Be mindful of the environment in which your mental garden grows. Surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you, just as sunlight and good soil support healthy plants. Limit exposure to negativity, whether it comes from others, the media, or even your inner critic. Create an environment where your thoughts can thrive. Remember, not all seeds sprout overnight. Some take weeks, months, or even years to grow into their full potential. This requires patience. Trust in the process and keep tending to your garden, even when progress seems slow. Every thought you nurture contributes to your long-term growth. It's also important to recognize the interconnectedness of your thoughts and emotions. Positive thoughts often lead to positive feelings, which in turn fuel motivation and resilience. For example, the thought, "I am capable," can generate a sense of confidence that empowers you to face challenges with determination. In this way, your thoughts set the tone for your emotional well-being and overall outlook on life. Your thoughts are seeds, small but mighty, filled with the potential to create beauty, abundance, and purpose in your life. Plant them with care, nurture them with love, and protect them with vigilance. Over time, you will see your mental garden transform into a reflection of your highest hopes and dreams. The life you desire starts with the seeds you choose to plant today. In a world that often celebrates caution and conformity, boldness in vision and action stands out as a defining trait of those who achieve greatness. To live boldly is to imagine a life of boundless possibilities, and then to take courageous steps toward turning those possibilities into reality. It is the audacity to dream big and the determination to follow through, no matter how daunting the journey may seem. Being bold in vision means refusing to settle for mediocrity. It is about looking beyond the immediate and the comfortable to envision what could be. Bold visionaries dare to imagine a future that defies limitations. They see opportunities where others see obstacles, and they paint their dreams in vibrant, expansive colors. But having a bold vision is not enough. Action must follow. Vision without action is merely a dream, while action without vision is aimless motion. Boldness requires both: a willingness to envision the extraordinary and the courage to pursue it relentlessly. To be bold in vision, start by allowing yourself to dream freely. Let go of the fears and doubts that tell you something is impossible. Great achievements often begin as ideas that seemed far-fetched or impractical. Think of the pioneers in science, art, business, and human rights, people who dared to imagine a reality that others dismissed as unattainable. They didn't let the size of their vision intimidate them. Instead, they used it as fuel to propel them forward. Once you have a bold vision, commit to it with unwavering determination. Boldness in action means taking risks, stepping outside of your comfort zone, and embracing the possibility of failure as a necessary part of growth. It's about refusing to let fear of rejection, criticism, or uncertainty hold you back. Every bold step you take brings you closer to your vision and teaches you valuable lessons along the way. Being bold also means taking ownership of your choices. Bold action requires decisiveness. It's about saying, "This is what I want, and I will do whatever it takes to achieve it." This doesn't mean reckless impulsivity. Rather, it means making calculated decisions with confidence and a willingness to adapt as needed. To act boldly, you must also silence the voice of self-doubt. This inner critic often tries to convince you that you're not ready, not qualified, or not worthy. Boldness means recognizing these thoughts for what they are, temporary barriers, and moving forward anyway. It's about trusting in your potential and believing that you are capable of achieving greatness. Boldness in vision and action also involves perseverance. The road to realizing big dreams is rarely smooth or straightforward. Obstacles, setbacks, and failures are inevitable, but bold individuals view these challenges as stepping stones rather than roadblocks. They learn, adapt, and continue to move forward with an unshakable belief in their ability to succeed.